Yes, we have a strike by the nursing fraternity in this county, and we want to put it on record that this is a nationwide strike. Again, this is a nationwide strike. It is not a strike localized in Machakos County only. Yesterday on TV, it appeared as if it were a strike by the nurses in Machakos County only. The proper position is that this is a nationwide strike that was called by the officials of the Kenya National Union of Nurses and Midwives, sometimes in May, and the letters are here with me. I'll share with the media so that you can establish that fact, that this is indeed a national strike. At that point, let us start the conversation. So it is not an issue that is peculiar, that is specific to Machakos. In an investigation that won't cost anybody much will show that a significant number of counties across the country are affected by this strike. I wish to put it on the record that whereas once again it was depicted as though it was a complete collapse of health services in Machakos level 5 specifically, that is not a true representation of the position. The proper and correct position is this. Correct? The wards have been affected by the strike. And it will not take much for anybody to recall that most of what was shown was what was happening in the wards. Now, were it not selective capturing, it would have shown that other aspects of the Machakos level 5 facility are still doing what they are supposed to do, providing services to the citizens of Machakos and beyond. The cancer center is still operational as we talk. It won't cost anybody much to go and establish that fact. All clinics are running as expected. Our outpatient is still transacting business as usual, treating our people. Our physio and radiology centers are still working as would be expected. Now, I wanted to put that record straight. It is not the picture that appeared on television yesterday. We need to debunk that. The wards, yes, have been affected, but for the other facilities in Machakos level 5, they are still running as usual. That one I needed to put properly. Now, and having established that fact, I need to say this. For the last 2.5 years, we have engaged the nursing fraternity, our nurses, in a number of occasions, and I want to lay it bare so that it becomes evident that we have not sat pretty. We have done what would be expected of a reasonable employer, a reasonable public service. In relation to the nurses specifically, in the year 2023, 422 promotions for health workers were effected. And out of this, 132 benefited the nurses only. In 2024, 57 nurses were recruited, were employed. In 2025, an additional 183 nurses were employed and posted across the county. In February to May this year, the government has promoted 231 nurses, cutting across the common cadre to those about to retire. Right? As we talk, there is an ongoing advertisement that is aimed at recruiting or replacement of 42 nurses. The government has offered, I want to emphasize this, the government made an offer to promote all those nurses who have 7 years and above before, those who have taken 7 years before promotion, to be promoted in the financial years 2026 and 2027. That is an offer the government had or has already made. Now, unfortunately, again, I must say this, we have had a series of meetings because after we received the strike notice, it was only reasonable that we invite the union to the negotiating table, which we did. And we had a series of discussions. And especially during the last meeting that we had with the nurses, two issues appeared to dominate the discussion. And issue number one was about failure to implement the new SRC salary structure for 2024. And number two, failure to implement the return to work formula that was signed in November, 2nd of November 2017. 2nd of November 2017. Now, look here. On all the other issues, we agreed with the union. These two issues appeared to be the elephant in the room, and by the way, even the stances, even from the way the negotiations were going, it was clear that these are people who were intent on proceeding for strike. It was clear they were not for dispute resolution amicably. That one we must also say, because we sat through the negotiations with them, and what was coming out was, at the end of the day, these were people who wanted to do exactly what they have done. Right? I want to address myself to a letter that is purportedly authored by, to a letter that is in circulation and purportedly authored by one of the officials. I say purportedly because it has not been duly served to myself or to any other officer. Now, and in that letter, the official claims that the county is only offering to promote staff after 7 years. From what I have read, we have not talked about promoting anybody after 7 years. 7 years, the issue of 7 years is not even on the table. Now, wherever he was getting those figures, that is a creation of his imagination. Let him go back to the drawing board and, without emotions, interrogate the discussions we have had with them, and he will realize that that was never on the table. We made very clear offers to the union, offers that they rubbished, and offers that I can tell you were reasonable within all precincts of reasonableness. Now, well, that much said, now I've just said that we are requesting the union to come to the negotiating table again because after the last meeting, when we disagreed, you see, when you disagree and when you are negotiating, you now need to regather again. We are evaluated our position, they have also evaluated their positions. Now, emotions have risen the highest they could go. They have pulled down. Now we are inviting them to the negotiating table. And as soon as even this evening, tomorrow, we want to arrive at a consensus in the soonest time possible. It is in the interest of our people to do that. Get back to the negotiating table without a lot of hubris. Let them not throw a lot of drama around the issue. And the health function is not an issue that should be dramatized at all costs. It is not proper for us to import politics into the health function. We feel pained when we see some of these images that are circulating, and the perpetrators of that know very well that may not be the right thing. Instead of that, let us call one another to the table and let us make submissions to one another. Whatever we can do as leaders, let us offer to do it instead of worsening the situation by way of making inflammatory and derogatory, pointing accusing fingers. That may not be the way to go. At that point, allow me to invite our minister.
2023, 132 nurses were promoted. This year, 231 nurses were promoted, and they have their letters, and that one you can confirm. So when you say promotions at Zerifanyika, I don't agree with you. Our records are there. And she has also just read here, in 2024, 57 nurses were recruited. Early this year, 183 nurses were recruited. 2 months ago, you must have seen an advert recruiting more health workers. And currently, as you are speaking, shortlisting is happening. So it's an ongoing process. It is happening.
Last one.
CCTVs here, we can go and see. Nothing of that sort has been reported. And that is a very serious thing. It cannot happen. There is nothing of that sort. And I would request also you people, when you are reporting issues, let's try to report genuine issues, which are true, so that we don't give people the wrong information. Because when you give them the wrong information, they will start shying away from coming to seek services in the hospitals. Thank you. Services here in level 5 and in all our facilities across. Apart from the nurses, all the other cadres are on duty. Doctors are on duty, clinical officers are on duty, lab is working, and they are giving services to the people of Machakos. We have also gotten nurses on lockup to stand in for those who are on strike. So I'm appealing to people of Machakos not to shy away to come for services in all our facilities. We are offering services. We also have a big number of nurses who want to come back to work. We are assuring them of their security, and they are free to come as we continue negotiating. Finally, we have medicine in our facilities. We've gotten supplies from KEMSA. All our facilities are well stocked with medicine, so anybody coming to our facilities, they'll be able to get medicine. So I encourage people of Machakos to continue seeking services in our facilities. Thank you very much. Wale watu wako hapa hospitali wanaendelea na kuhudumiwa, na wale pia wanakuja hapa wanareceiviwa na wanapata huduma. Nimesema madaktari wako kazini, clinical officers wako kazini, lab zetu zinafanya kazi, na pia tumepata nurses on locum na wanapatia watu huduma.